Hey everyone, it's Mike here, and just doing an improv show here on a Saturday night to talk about reselling, my favorite subject of all time, obviously, because it's what I do to make a living. And haven't been on YouTube here for a while, so I wanted to come and see what's going on, and also again talk about reselling. I'm going to focus on some stuff that you can easily pick up that you can find all over the place: flea markets, garage sales, pawn shops. You name it, you're going to be able to find it. And right before I actually hit live here, I was looking and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, this is pretty crazy. This is a cool sale. This is I picked this up at a garage sale over the summertime, and I was like, this is interesting. It was a dictation recorder, right? Pitney Bowes, sold it on Etsy, got $40 for it just now. So I was pretty stoked about that. I paid 50 cents for it. I said, how much do you want for it? She goes, 50 cents will work. I said, okay, cool. So I was pretty stoked. I was pretty happy about that. And but other than that, let's talk about what I wanted to talk about today here. I'm not going to be on here too long, but just wanted to give you guys some information. Hopefully my internet's standing strong, because I am in the Arizona desert here, and it is a little crazy at times. So let me just double check my settings here to make sure life's good. Make sure I'm muted. And we don't have 3,000 things browsing at the same time. But, yep, looks like we're good to go. All right, cool. So let me jump into what I want to talk about here today. All right, guys. So honestly, as a reseller, there's so many opportunities for you to go out sourcing, right? Thrift stores, garage sales, flea markets, right? And I'm telling you something, pawn shops too can be great potential if the pawn shop really doesn't know what they're doing. And what I'm going to talk about today, guys, is about some video game systems, right? I've been making a lot of money with video games, as you guys might know from my channel here and the Resellers Roundtable Facebook group, and obviously pickforprofit.com. But I really want to stress this to you guys, because there's money there if you can hunt these products down, and not just to sell them online, whether it's Amazon, eBay, some of the other apps that are out there, also local. And I'm going to be talking a lot about that. So let me just start sharing some items with you guys really quick here about what you can find these for and what to expect. Now, the biggest thing with all of this is to understand the price points to these guys, okay? Once you master the price points when it comes to video game systems or video games or anything, really, you become kind of like a master, where you don't need to look the stuff up on your phone, honestly. I mean, it's irrelevant at that time. But this first one I want to talk about is, now, yeah, I'll tell you about the first one here, but what I want to talk about is these video games here that I picked up at pawn shops, right? I went on a blitz the past week, just hitting pawn shops up and looking for my price point where I felt comfortable enough to buy, right? So these are they're going to be pretty common things. You guys have probably heard a lot, but I'm going to go into detail about them and how you make money with them. All right, this first one here is a Sony, Nintendo, just a standard NES system, guys. The standard NES system here. It was complete. And, a lot of times with these things, it's so simple to fix these. They're like 50s Fords. I mean, they don't break that often. A lot of times what's wrong with them is that the actual unit inside here, right, the cartridge that you insert the card in and out, back and forth, the 72 pin, is something's wrong with it, right? That's why you get a lot of the times a flashing light. Now, with that flashing light, right, I mean, you could take that 72 pin out. It's just some screws in the back, some screws in the top of this thing, pop it out. Believe it or not, you could boil this thing, right? Boil it in hot water. This is exactly what I did. So I went in this pawn shop. I saw this. They wanted $45 for it. Now, I knew, hey, at that price, I can make some money. So I said, listen, I want to bundle some stuff together. I want to get some stuff rolling today. Can we make some offers on this stuff? And he's like, yeah, let's pile it up, right? Because anytime you can bundle products together, they see you're serious. And I tell them straight up, hey, I'm a reseller. I'm going to flip this stuff, right? And if it's something I want, then I'll just say it's, it's for me personally. But this NES system here, guys, right? I brought it home, cleaned it up a little bit, turned it on, had the blinking light. I boiled the original 72 pin, turned it on a second, it was working. Bing, 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 right? So it was pretty awesome. And what I want to talk about now is that this item here, guys, believe it or not, NES systems. I mean, it makes you wonder, like, if you've been reselling for a while, that like going out and about, you should have picked up every NES system that you had and maybe hoarded them and stuff like that. But these video game systems are in such demand right now. I mean, believe it or not, it's amazing. Look on YouTube here. Look around on Facebook. It's video games, right? People are out of control with it. Retro games. I've sold this Q4 for $150. Now that includes the cables, one controller, right? Everything you need to do to sell these games. $150 FBA is pretty amazing, right? For 30-year-old technology, right? But the point is this: is that right now in this market, it's not Q4, right? You're getting the abundance of people that are shopping online because they got their tax return, they got their daddy money, right? They got all this money. They're shopping, right? So, but typically, this is $100 with the controllers and everything, guys. And it's one of those things where if you know that that's what it'll sell for online, whether it's eBay, Amazon, right? You know that, hey, at $40 or $30, I'm comfortable buying it. Or at a garage sale you find for $10, it's a no-brainer, right? Again, what I want to stress is if you're selling this stuff just console only, I think your best option, if you're just finding this and no controllers, no nothing, right? Obviously, you want to test this stuff. But if you don't want to sell just the console onlys on Amazon, guys. I mean, there's people all day long. I mean, it's influx now. It's so bad with these listings. And I've talked about this in previous videos. I'm not going to get into too much detail about it, but you should really look into how to approach it, right? And what I'm going to talk about here is once I'm done with these video game systems of how to sell them, I'm going to start talking about the local game and the type of money that I'm getting for these locally. I mean, I've got a whole system in place right now before my stuff even goes online, believe it or not, because people out here know me as like this video game guy, right? Because I'm active in my buy, sell, trade Facebook group. I've got ads out there at the post office, and I live in like a podunk small town, right? So yeah, just want to give a couple shout outs to some people that I see in the chat here. We got Jose, we got Traveling Picker, Fun Stuff 24, Lori, PGW, and Peddling Profits. So awesome for all you guys to be a part of this here tonight. Just an impromptu thing. Hopefully my internet's strong here in Arizona. That's why lately I haven't been doing a lot of live shows. I can't remember last time I did a live show on YouTube, but it's one of those things where I'm testing my internet to see if it's even if I can even do a live show. So if somebody can give me some heads up on how's the quality of it, if it's lagging, stuff like that, I appreciate that. California Picker says, with the millions made, I think maybe all the collectors are getting their fill and demand is on the downside. It could be. Yeah, it definitely could be. I just think the video games aren't going to go away. You know what I mean? California Picker, I just don't think it's going to be those things where there's always a new generation of kids and younger kids getting into them. You know, I'm with my son. I mean, he's getting into these. And, you know, he's 12, 13 years old. So, you know, I think that as time moves on and Nintendo systems and Sony's and Xbox ones, people, you know, are going to get back into the retro stuff. So that's the question. Well, we don't have an answer for. Will the video game market tank? I don't know. I don't know. But I think that it's strong right now, and I'm selling stuff on a daily basis. I'm doing local stuff, and you know, it's just one of those things where I think it's something that everybody should be paying attention to. Honestly, as a reseller, it should be the number one thing you should be really looking for is video games because they sell that quick. Flow Space, never watched a live. First one for me. I like it. Cool. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. Yeah, always in demand. I mean, this stuff the video game stuff's in demand. And obviously, if there comes a point in time where this stuff is just not selling, oh, dude, you guys, I'll be freaking yapping about it. Oh, my God, I got freaking 50 NESs. They won't sell. But I think it's going strong. I think it's going to continue to move forward, and people are hunting certain games down. Obviously, collectors that have been doing this for 5, 10, 20, 30 years, their collections are huge. They're going after maybe harder to find titles, right? They're not too concerned about the console games, right? Yeah, California Picker says he got 6 of them that needed a 72 pin. Yeah, I mean, you know where to find those, dude. You could go on eBay or Amazon. I mean, first try to boil them, honestly. I mean, that trick, that YouTube, I watched a YouTube video about it years back. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? For real? Just take the pin out and throw it in a pot and boil the water. And that's exactly what I do with this unit. I mean, boom, it worked. And, you know, and then I polished the pins on the inside just really quick. And life was good. So yeah, that's the first one, right? And again, this is going to be really basic, but I really want to freaking bam! I want to hit a home run with this with you guys because I want you to really maybe step up your video game reselling business, you know, and find these things. And, you know, I get a lot of questions from people saying, hey, I don't have systems to test these games. Well, set the games aside, right? Go and find one of these systems, right? You're going to find them. If you're a reseller, you're going to find everything I'm talking about tonight, right? Trust me. All right. Next one here, okay, is a PS2. Obviously, this is the slim model. They have the fat model, stuff like that. Again, in demand type item that people are looking at, guys. And the price points on something like this, a PS2, I'm selling these guys for $70 right about this time, right? I'm talking online, $70. That includes a controller, AC adapter. I mean, I test my stuff to make sure it works, right? Where's my phone at? There it is. Sorry. Oh, yeah. I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, so here's the PS2 system, slim fat, right? About $70, give or take. Now, let me just say this, plus 50, right? Let's just think plus $50 when you see these. So if you're finding these at a pawn shop for $20, grab them. You know what I'm saying? Grab them, and you could sell them on all different platforms, Amazon, eBay, locally, right? And I'll talk about the local here in a second. But Q4-wise, guys, no joke. This last Q4, I probably flipped 20 of these systems for $90 FBA. 20 of them. You may say, no, it never got that high. Or I looked on Camel, and Keepa, and I looked over here, looked over there. Dude, I did, right? I mean, I don't have to prove anything, but I'm just telling you guys. If you guys have been selling video game systems, sometimes you can get, if you have the right pictures and you have the right description, people will pay up for this stuff. You guys know this, right around Q4, December 18th. What does the boy want? He wants an N64, right? But these are all things, guys, that you can pick up all over the place, right? Again, hey, dude, what's up, buddy? All right, Wii systems, right? We got the Wii systems in the house here. This Wii system here. Now, guys, think about this. Wii, right? Oh, dude, no, Wiis aren't worth any money, Mike. What are you doing? What are you smoking, bro? They are, guys. They're worth some money, right? Believe it or not. They're not making Wii games anymore. And it's going to be one of these systems where I think down over time, it's a Nintendo product. People that love Nintendo are so into Nintendo, right? And again, remember, the collectors that have been out there, the people that already have this stuff, they already have their system, right? It's the new people. Or maybe the person that had to sell theirs, they moved, right? And they want to get it back, right? With video games, it's all about that retro style, right? That, oh, my God, man, I remember playing that, as a kid or 5-10 years ago. But these Wii systems, guys, right? Perfect example of the Wii, again, $70. Think 50 plus online. Online, I'm talking with cords, a controller, a couple of freaking, you know what I'm talking about? Those things plus, right? $50 all day, guys. So if you're seeing these garage sales and you're walking by them and they're $10 or $20, you should be snagging them up. That's easy money. These things so quick, right? Last year, Q4, $80 to $95 a pop on these guys. I couldn't keep them in stock at FBA. It was insane. I see Carol says, hello, 15 Barbies holiday, $100. Yeah. Carol, I got an awesome video coming out, hopefully pretty soon, where me and Kim just, oh my gosh, a mega Barbie score of a lifetime. And it was epic. We made a lot of money off it. And I still got a lot of Barbie stuff here. And I know I'm on a different note. But yeah, it was an awesome score. And we made a lot of money off this Barbie collection we bought. And the lady's still calling me because we didn't buy it all out. I'm like, oh my gosh, how much stuff does this woman have? So maybe in the future we'll head back over to her house and buy the rest. But yeah, there's good money in Barbies, guys. Because a lot of collectors and a lot of the older 40s, 50s, 60-year-old collectors, they're retiring. They're getting rid of it. They bought too much of this stuff, right? And it's all minty fresh. So usually when you're finding it, maybe at the estate sale or whatever, if the person's not, asking crazy prices, you can pick them up pretty reasonably. Because a lot of Barbie collectors know, for example, like Holiday Barbie, some of the 1999, 2003 Holiday Barbie is just not going up in price, right? I mean, what I see with the Barbie collections is the vintage early 60s, 70s, that stuff. I just sold an outfit, right, that I got as a collection of Barbie, and I know we're off topic here. It mint on card from 72, I want to say, $100 just for a little outfit. So there's money in the Barbie stuff. All right, so sorry, I'm enjoying a Corona night. Here's another system, guys. Back on the video games. Nintendo GameCube. I don't know. I think GameCube's on the rise. I really do. Of all the systems, I mean, we could talk about N64, Super Nintendo, but I like GameCube. I mean, it's compact. The games are pretty sweet, and I'm going to tell you a story about GameCube and the score I got at a garage sale. But GameCube's another one of these guys. 50, this thing, $50 plus. You're finding it for 10, snag them. If you're going to a pawn shop and they're $30, buy them. I am telling you, this system and the PS2, if you have pawn shops in the area, they're not, I mean, unless the pawn shop is got them priced high, you know, and trust me, I have those up by me where my pawn shops are still trying to sell used PS3s for $150, right, which is insane. But these things, guys, I mean, $50 and up, right? $70 Amazon. Again, Q4 selling for $90, $100, right? Yeah, Fashion Outlook, Smash Brothers Melee was hot during Q4. Yeah, all those Smash Brothers. Anything Mario, guys, is just freaking, oh, it's gold. Now, I think it is. When I see Mario games, I get excited. And I'm like, oh, this is great. And I'll show you guys some cool stuff. But these 4 systems here I find all the time, right? And obviously at the garage sales, I don't really find these, honestly, anymore, guys, at thrift stores. I just don't. I can't remember last time I even found I've seen them at the thrift stores, but they want $80 for them. Yep, that's an NES system here. How much is that, ma'am? Can you tell me the price on that at the thrift store there? That's $95, sir. It's a classic. Classic my ass. Stop it. Knock it off, thrift store. But no, when you're out in the wild and you're finding them at garage sales or estate sales, again, pawn shops, that's where I'm religiously finding these things. And you just got to understand the price points to the game systems. That way you feel comfortable buying them. And I'm telling you, if you can find these, right, just keep in mind, I'm just going to say this as a short, quick thing for you guys. Just think plus 50. Use plus 50. If they're 10, 20, even $25 is a good flip, guys, on a PS2, right? And then depends on what season you're in. Like right now, the game system, some are, believe it or not, the NES system, if you look it up on Amazon right now, under ones that are prime and that are complete. They're tested, they're working, they're pro sellers. They're selling for 100 plus, right? I mean, just the console that people are selling, which I said that's a no-no. They're selling consoles for 80, you know? Yeah, James, I mean, he loves testing games on the GameCube. And playing with, yeah, I'm playing them too long, too. I mean, I'm sitting there going, hey, this is cool. I was just playing, I was cleaning this NES game up before I got on here. I was playing Indiana Jones. I might have wasted, I mean, I killed 11 minutes of my life. And then I played another game. What the heck, what game was it? I don't know. Never played it before, but I was like, this is cool. It was like Asteroids. Anyway, sorry, guys, if my internet's going in and out, I mean, it's what I can do here. Like I said, I don't know too much. My internet's really bad here in Arizona, and I pay $200 a month for crazy internet. So if it goes down, I apologize. But I'm going to try to get through this video. It's a lot of your time. I know you guys are busy, and tomorrow's Super Bowl. So finally, the last item here that, well, in terms of electronics that I love to find are these Polaroid cameras. I mean, just a no-brainer on these things, right? You can find them at thrift stores. This one is the nicer unit. Now, there's actually higher-end units on Polaroids, but this is a quick $50 on Amazon. This is the Polaroid 600 Elite, and it's a nice unit here. So easy to test. What I recommend, if you're finding a lot of these Polaroids, you got to find the film because the battery's in the film. So you're going to sit there and look at this, go, well, how do I turn it on? You got to have the cartridge thing, guys. Plug that film in there. Then it turns on, and you can do a Photoshop, quick photo of it. But the thing is, with this stuff, if you're going to be getting this business, try to get some new film. I mean, film's expensive for this, but if you get it, you know, you can test it really quick and just spit out a photo. It's well worth it because there's money in Polaroids, and you can find these everywhere. I picked this up for the pawn shop had it for $15, and the only reason this pawn shop even had it is because I told them. I said, hey, they're like, what did you buy? I said, the video games, right? Cameras, you know, naming all these things. And I mentioned Polaroids. Really? We never buy those. And this is an old school pawn shop. I mean, they're there to make money. It's not like those pawn shops where, you know, everything is like a museum quality, you know, and they've got Polaroids for $94, right? So, you know, with this, yeah, the film traveling picker, the film has the battery. So once you put the film in, it'll turn, the whole unit will turn on. It's got a small display on the back there that'll light up. But this is 50 plus on Amazon, guys. And eBay, 40, 45. I'm trying to actually flip this locally. And that's what I'm going to talk about here in a second here before I show my next items. Because I've got a whole system now in place for a lot of these. I think these are called fast flips, in my opinion. Right? So I'd rather take the fast flip right now, cash, show me the money, right, locally. And I do my local game for 24 hours. But I'll talk to that in a second. But here's let me just show you. I'm going to run through these other items here real quick. Yeah, Shelly says, sounds like you have some out-of-touch pawn shop owners. Might think everything is made of gold. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, the town outside where I'm at, there are 6 pawn shops that are they're horrendous. One of them is how much are the video games? $10. How much? $10. For what? Right? Just, I mean, it could be NBA 2K 1974, and they want $10. Doesn't matter. Every game's $10. But that's a good thing. So when I go in there and I see, you know, Mario Kart or, you know, anything Mario, really, Zelda, it's $10. But then there are pawn shops. It's just ridiculous. It's almost like their fronts for something else. And honestly, out here, they're more into, they're making their money off the people coming in and just giving away their gold, honestly. So the stuff that's in the store, it's the same stuff every week. Every time I go, it's just like the same stuff at majority of these places. And like I said, it's like a museum. Yeah, Pokemon stadiums are excellent too. But so each pawn shop is different. So you got to understand when you go into them, you know, what can they offer you? Now, I'm going to talk about this in another video down the road, but really there's a lot of potential in the selling to pawn shops. I'm not going to get that. This thing is because they're really basic, but you can make some money off it as a reseller. There's no doubt about it. Okay, all right. So you go to pawn shops, right, or garage sales. I mean, this is a no-brainer, guys. Blu-rays. Anything Disney, Blu-ray, look at it. You got to look at it, right? There are some Blu-rays right now that are really, really cheap, brand new, that Amazon's still selling, that distributors have gotten. Even Walmart sells some Disney Blu-rays for like $10. So you gotta be careful a little bit. But usually you can't go wrong with these things, especially like you know, they have sales all the times on these things, and you know, once the sales are gone, you know, these Disney Blu-rays they're kind of like they go back in the vault. They're not going to reproduce them. So. But anyway, I saw these 2 titles here, you know, Enchanted, nothing crazy, and Frozen. My one pawn shop, they have just, I mean, the whole back wall is filled with discs. And I think that's how they make a little bit of money too, right? They go in there and they sell them for $3 a pop. They pay 50 cents. And it's good to know because if you're at a garage sale and you work on a big deal, buy a big bulk buy, you sort through them all, and maybe some, the better ones go to Amazon. Maybe some you try to flip locally. Maybe some on eBay. But some of them just, you know, they're junk. So you only have 2 options, really. Well, you got 3. You can do declutter, which they're going to give you, depending on the disc again, 10 cents. You know, here we're at 5 cents. Cool. Take them to the pawn shop. My pawn shop's paying me 50 cents, like I said, a disc. So it doesn't matter what disc it is, as long as the disc's in good condition. So when I'm at the garage sale, that's I shoot for, you know, when somebody says, well, I need $7 a disc. No, I'm not paying $7. Hold on, let's get rid of this guy here. Sorry, guys. Always got to have issues when we come on live here. It's just how it happens here in La La Land. Apologize. Nothing I can do about the haters and the people just going crazy at times. All right, so yeah, these Blu-ray Disney movies, guys, look them up. I mean, find them, especially if your pawn shop is, you know, $3 a disc type program, even at $5 a disc. Sometimes I go to pawn shops, they're $5, and I'm in, you know, because you can flip these obviously on Amazon or eBay, that's for sure. All right, these are cool. I just thought these were cool. I mean, let me show you these boring ones here, but and then this one I think is a home run. GameCube again. I'm a big. I think GameCube is like going to be hot, really hot. I mean, it's hot now. I just think it's. I'm just thinking of this. This is the reason why I say GameCube, is because all those kids that took their GameCubes out and just threw them on the floor of the carpet, now they're destroyed. That they're going to be more rare over time, right? The ones that actually play. So that's where my mentality goes when you're saying my GameCube games aren't rare. I'm thinking of that because I'm thinking years down the road here, how many really are going to exist? You know, just like CDs and some of these disc games, even though they're so mass produced. But a lot of them, I mean, like, you know, you've probably seen them, the conditions are shit, right? All right, so, all right, Nintendo GameCube. Pick this one up. This was Mortal Kombat, Deadly Alliance, complete, $4. I'm like, cool, yeah, right. I think it should be get $13, $14 on FBA after it's said and done with. But when you hear my story here about again how I'm flipping these locally, you can maybe share with more info. But yeah, here Metroid 8. So I was like, okay, I'll pay $8 for Metroid, right? This is $25 plus on Amazon. I've sold it for 35. I've sold it last Q4 for 40. Here, the trending out of this, guys, the Q4 stuff. If you can afford to hold on to this stuff, obviously you're gonna get more money for it during that time. But yeah, I would say safe to say this is about a, what do you guys think? $28, $30 game. Some of you gamers out there. What's up, Smoky Blizzard? Now this thing is cool. I've only found 2 of these ever. But it's something I think that maybe that's worth your time when you're watching this, going, dude, I had no idea, right? So you see these because you wouldn't think anything of them, right? This is a game action replay for the NES Nintendo, right? Check this thing out. Look these up online. There's not too many of them. It's kind of a rare type thing. So this is the last one I had of this. Oh God, 9 months ago I sold it. I got $95 for it. Okay, I mean, that way you get a visual of it at a flea market or see it anywhere, right? Again, just think 50 plus, worst case scenario. But these things are selling right now. I mean, I don't see why I couldn't get $80 for it, right? How do you test and determine they're okay to sell? I just test them. I test all the video games I get to make sure that they work, right? I know that could be some type of a hassle sometimes, with reselling, but the video game stuff I really enjoy, right? So I pride my business on reselling quality products, right? Like this Metroid, I could have sold it as is and not tested it, but I just opened it up really quick and just took the screws out, polished the pins, and put it in the Nintendo, and it tuned up fine. So I'm like, hey, that will work. Yeah, that was crazy. California picker, that Panic Restaurant. That's for $1. That's just, that's silly. Incredible score. Wish I had one of those. Yeah, those. So if you see it again here, this is what it is, guys. I think to me, this was all these were good finds for me, but this one is just, I just think it's a rare thing. And maybe, I'm not a hardcore gamer, but I do know my NES stuff to some extent. But I do know that there's not too many of these out there. Oh, here we go. There's another one. Sorry, guys. This is the problem when you come on YouTube and you just try to do your thing, and nothing you can do about it. With a lot of these people that are crazy. Anyway, all right. So that's a lot of the stuff I wanted to share tonight is these games and stuff. Now I want to talk briefly about the local game and stuff like that, and what I'm doing with a lot of stuff. Yeah, I mean, this could be totally like a guy thing, right? But it's something that's easy if you're seeing them out and about. I mean, grab them. Even if you're like, hey, I'm not a gamer, man. There's money in them, guys. I mean, it's no different than finding clothing that's out there, So just go out there and see what you can do with it. And I guarantee you, if you're finding these video games out there, you got to be looking for them. You're gonna make some money off them. I did pretty well. Obviously we just did our taxes, and Uncle Sam's getting his cut and stuff like that. But I look at my numbers based on the categories I'm selling in, and I did pretty well last year selling video games. And they're getting harder and harder to find, right? There's no doubt about it. And that's going to lead me up to what I'm talking about now is like all the stuff I just showed you. I'm going to try to farm it out locally, and I'm going to give myself really 48 hours to do that, okay, with some of the stuff. And because I have ads out there, right, of, hey, we buy Nintendo games, we buy this, we buy that. And I live in a podunk town where I could do this. GameStop's 40 minutes away. So there's nothing else here. So I get a lot of phone calls. Hey, man, you got any systems? So I've got 3 of these systems already sold, right? I'm just going to message them tomorrow. Hey, got these systems in. Now, my price points are different locally than obviously they would, online. You got online with shipping, and you got handling fees, and Amazon fees, and eBay. So my prices are they're affordable, right? But let me just give you an example of my local prices. So maybe you can say, hey, maybe the local game is good. Because anytime you can sell things without fees, dude, that's a bonus. And the straight cash, that's good, right? Yeah, Smoky Blizzard, Game Action Replay, Nintendo, NES is rare. I think it is rare. I think it's rare too, yeah. Yeah, see, this guy, oh God, I wish I could just... And then this will go on. This is why I have problems with these people, and it's awful. It's so hard to come on here and just deal with some of these people. Yeah, I think that game's. Oh, geez. The game action replay, I think, is rare. I think that's what you're saying there. But the local pricing, right? So here's my local pricing. This is just straight up what it is. I think this is competitive. I think you can make money off it. Like an NES complete system for me, local is $65. That's a steal, right? When I used to have my flea market in Illinois, or when I had my shop in Illinois, $65, $70, dude, those things were gone, right? These systems. And here, it's a little bit different. I mean, there's a big community of people that like games and stuff like that. And the great thing about it is once you become like a local guy, you're getting requests all the time. And people are asking, hey, can you give me this game? Can you give me that system? But everything is about, like the Wii is, I sell Wii's up here for $40 with controllers and everything like that. And same with PS2s, $40, right? GameCube, I'm pushing up to $50 because they are a little bit, I'm not saying they're hard to find, but you're just not going to find it locally. So I try to push this stuff locally first. If it doesn't fly locally, I'm working online with it. Majority of the times, this is going to FBA. There's no doubt about it. Have you sold it yet? The game action replay? Yeah, well, last one I sold, I got $90 or something for it. What city am I in? I'm outside. I'm south of Phoenix, Arizona. Let's see. Here's another one. I don't rip people off, dude. I mean, if you ask anybody who's ever bought anything, my things, right? I don't rip people off. I pride myself on putting out great paid content information that's willing to help people, and that's what I do. So, why do I offer that? Because there's a need for it. Honestly, right? I know there's a lot of YouTube videos that are out here, and there's a lot of great YouTube people putting out information with reselling. And I decided years ago just to come out with and start teaching people, right? That's really what it is. I'm trying to educate people, whether it's YouTube here for free or if I have paid stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if you're thinking, she's charging, whatever you want to think about it. I just, I know the reactions. I know what people tell me when they buy my things. I know it works. And, if you think, whatever it is, I mean, you can go to my website, pickforprofit.com, and look at the testimonials. You can see things. You can go ask in the Facebook group, Resellers Roundtable. So it is what it is. So I wouldn't go out there and purposely try to screw anybody. I'll be honest with you. And if you think that I am, you just don't know me, because I really, at the end of the day, care about obviously the people that buy things from me, and I'm here for a lot of people that want my information. So, or people that ask me questions. I'm here to answer them as much as I can. So. But yeah, how do you do a packing list for FBA? Yeah, I mean, there's well, they got that whole thing now, right? Where it's kind of it's actually pretty easy. I have a video. I'll probably release it if there's interest. Because for me to go out there and talk about this right now, dude, I mean, it would just take up 40 minutes of time. So I'll make a video for you, man. Let me write that down. I've got a video out. Actually, I'll just make it public about the packing list stuff, and then that way it makes it life easier. Yeah, so appreciate you guys that support me. I really do. Because there's no doubt about it. I mean, if you've been on this channel, you see, I mean, I get hate, and sometimes I can't deal with it right, and sometimes I call people out and do whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm here to help, and that's it. So there's nothing I can do about the hate comments, the craziness. I'll touch on this really topic because I want to talk about too. Being on YouTube and talking about reselling, which is crazy to me because I'm not even talking about politics and people are hating and getting crazy, right? And but it's not fun when people start stalking you and they're getting death threats, and that's what I've gotten. I mean, I've had to deal with one now for 2 weeks now. Some crazy person got a hold of my cell phone number, so it's getting harder and harder for me to go out here and do these things, and not knowing that if this person's gonna knock at my door, it's discouraging. It really is. I know it's kind of depressing, but yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, guys, with some of these haters, it's not too hard to figure out who they are, right? They come on here, and but let's just be honest, they have other YouTube channels. There's no doubt about it. Anyway, so that local game hustle, hey, I appreciate it. Spark of interest. I wanted to come on here tonight and just test my internet. My internet's been pretty bad, and wanted to talk to you about these video games. I just think video games are easy money if you know the price points and how to sell them, and they sell fast. I mean, depending on your price point, especially Q4 for sure. Yeah, that's why I open carry. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of off base right now because it's crazy to look sometimes. It's like, man, you know, all I'm trying to do is really help people talk about reselling and be around like-minded people, and people ruin it sometimes. It's like, man, come on, you know, and that's the point. That's why they come out, and you know, it is hard to ignore them when they're constantly in your face. And but I do appreciate all of you guys that have been here tonight talking and leaving great comments. I really appreciate it. There's no doubt about it. And it means a lot to me, believe it or not. So I'm hoping, like, you know, with all these videos, I think I've got in there that said that maybe you used for your life and your business. Because at the end of the day, right, it's all about making life easier, right? That's why I came out here tonight to talk about these video games. Because I could just, don't get me wrong, I can go to the pawn shop, and not every day I'm going to find these, right? But if I'm constantly hunting for them, and I know they're on my radar, and I'm going to find them, you know? I'm going to find them. I found an NES yesterday. Excuse me. It was, I almost made a Periscope, but my phone screwed up too. Everything with the internet screwed up out here, but it was these side-of-the-road specials that these people have out here. And it was just funny because, like, I just drive by and I'm like, there's an NES, and I pulled around and I went over there and I was like, how much? $20. I'm like, dude, I'm in. You got any games? Sure, I got these. You never know what people are willing to sell their stuff for, and not everybody thinks NES games and systems are pricey, you know. So, you know, it's crazy, but making life easier is what I really want to talk about. Was just making things easier for yourself, right? And if you become an established reseller, things really do become easier for you, right? You understand, hey, you know, because you've gone through those trial and errors of finding products that maybe didn't, you know, you bought and they didn't sell for you, right? So now you know, hey, I'm not going to buy that anymore. And you're really focusing on the gold. And when you can focus on the gold or the silver or the bronze type stuff that you know is going to make you money, it becomes so much easier. This job does, right? It really does. Whether it's online arbitrage, thrifting, right? Going to the flea markets, right? Having an eye for this stuff. And once you do this, it just becomes, I'm not saying reselling is easy, but it becomes just, oh man, when you've been doing it for a while and you're successful at it, it just becomes one of those things where it's like, man, this is kind of, you know, it's mundane, right? It's fun, but it shouldn't be difficult. And I know people are going to be like, man, reselling in the beginning is difficult. It is difficult. Don't get me wrong. I go through difficult phases, right? It's just the process and everything is easy, right? Listing things, yeah, that sucks, man. You got to photograph this stuff, but that's the only way it's going to get online, right? That's the only way you're going to make your money. You got to sell it. If you don't like that listing stuff online, then work the flea market. You know, I appreciate all you guys for the great words and everything. I just, you know, just trying to do my thing and trying to give you guys some info and some value, and maybe somebody you can relate to. A couple more things here before I go, because I don't want to take up all your time. You know, family is very important to me, and it's the number one thing that I have. All right. I don't talk too frequently about personal things on YouTube here, and I wanted to tonight because my family means everything to me. At the end of the day, it means everything to me. And you know, we've never, my family, since we started with Kim, we didn't have a silver spoon. You know, I didn't give my kids everything, and we've had struggles, ups and downs, and we've had lights turned off and cars repossessed. We've had all of it happen, guys. I mean, I'm not here to tell you that we got Ferraris in the garage, right? And but my family is the number one thing to me. It really is. And I wouldn't be the person I am today without my wife. There's no doubt about it. And my kids and the support I get from them. And I do everything for them, you know. I make a little bit of money here on YouTube, and obviously with some of my paid content, and it all helps, you know, my family make better choices, you know, and you know, maybe live more financially free. But I don't say enough that it's so important to me. And getting ready to be 40 years old may seem to some of you guys are older. You know, I'm just trying to make my life easier, guys, you know, and at the end of the day, that's why you're not seeing a lot of the YouTube videos from me, because I just don't spend enough time with them. And I mean, my God, half my life's over, probably 75% of it. So family is just one of those things to me. It's just important, and it'll always be number one. And I think it should be number one for you guys too. No doubt about it, especially once you have kids and you realize just the beauty and how fortunate you are to have a kid. It's just amazing. And I've been fortunate to have two, and everybody's healthy. And to an extent, my son, he's got some issues, but he's a trooper, and he was in the chat tonight. So it was pretty awesome to see him there, and see him in the chat. It was pretty cool. So anyways, with that said, guys, you know, family is important. Do what you got to do to make a living for yourself. Support your family any which way you can. It's important to do that, and it's all about hustle, man. It's all about just making life easier and so forth. And it's just you don't know when how much time you have. You know what I mean? You don't know how much time you have on this earth. So keep that in mind. That's why I work so hard. You know, because you never know. I mean, I could die of a stroke tomorrow. Yes, pick up the pace. Same here. I'd be nothing without my wife. Yeah, I mean, to have a spouse, someone that loves you and you love them, be supportive is awesome with this. Because I couldn't imagine. I don't even know if I could have gotten through this, honestly, if I didn't have Kim. There's no doubt about it. Because it's hard. You know, I mean, it's hard when sales aren't coming through and, you know, shit's not happening, right? So, yeah, family number one. Kids grow up so fast. Yeah, I'm experiencing it now. My she's at a movie theater, and I'm like, what are you doing over there? You know, I don't know. She'll be driving next year. It's just crazy. All right, so I wanted to end this really quick, and I'm sorry, I got a sad note there. I don't know. But I wanted to talk about something kind of cool. So I was at this garage sale, and I found this GameCube system, and I said, how much is this? And it was in like I like to call them jewel bags, Dominic's bags, because I'm from the Midwest. But it was in some kind of fries bag, or I don't know what it was, plastic grocery bag. I said, oh, man, I looked in there. There was, GameCube. And I said, how much is the GameCube? And she goes, $15. I said, do you have any games? No, we don't have any games for it. I said, oh, so was this yours? Oh, it was my son's. I don't know what he did with the game. I said, okay, cool. I gave the $15. I was stoked, right? And then I came home, and I didn't think much of it. And sometimes with me, guys, when I buy things, I mean, as much as I want to get them online really fast, I don't. And so I kind of hoard things, right? I've got piles of stuff. And but anyway, I just was happening to be digging through this bag, and I'm like, I remember that buy. And all of a sudden, like, I looked, and like at the bottom of the bag was this little freaking GameCube case. And I'm not making this stuff up, guys. I have no reason to lie to you, right? There's a bunch of games in here. But I started flipping through these, and I'm like, whoa! Paid $15. Selling is about, you know, this hit all freaking home run. Let me just share with you guys these games. You guys that are gamers will appreciate it. Animal Crossing GameCube, right? Mario Party 5, right? Pokemon Channel. I mean, I didn't even know they were in the bag. She didn't even know they're in the bag, probably. It's like something like GameCube. Mario Party 6. Super Mario Sunshine. I mean, guys, there's probably 2-3 hours of the games here. This is what is this one? Zelda, Wind Waker. I was just stoked. I'm like, dude, I remember she said there was no games. Luigi's Mansion, Mario Kart Double Dash. I was just like, dude, this is a freaking home run. I was stoked. Metroid Prime. So I was like, dude, this is what Reselling is about. This is like just like a little Easter egg. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, yes, I freaking whoa. You know, I was stoked getting the GameCube for $15. And I'm looking through the bag. I'm like, dude, for real? It was like a gift. And I'm telling you guys, no matter where you are in your life, right? If you go out there and you keep going out there and trying to hunt and find these deals, they're out there. I'm telling you this, right? You're going to find this stuff, right? And then there's these Easter eggs, these little surprises, or where you go to the garage sale and somebody's like, oh, how much for all the games, ma'am? And they're all these GameCube games. Oh, I don't know, $1 a piece or 50 cents. Well, okay, so there's 50 games here. $1, would you take $10 for them? Yeah, that sounds fair. Dude, I'm telling you guys, these opportunities are all everywhere, right? You just have to be at the right place at the right time. But you never know when you're going to be there. That's why you got to go out there and get out there and see, right? Not everybody has this information that he sells and makes money. So to end it with that, guys, I appreciate all you guys hanging out with me here tonight on Saturday. Hope you guys learned something here, maybe had some fun with it. If you do me a favor, just hit the like button on the video, maybe share it with a friend, leave a comment down below. I really, really appreciate all of you guys that left the positive comments out there. I can't control the haters. I can't control the trolls. I can't do whatever. I had fun tonight, guys, and I hope you guys just had fun too. So maybe you'll see me in the future on doing some live shows. Appreciate you guys hanging out there. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.